Y'all know what really baffles me to this day is that people think that them tables don't turn. Them tables have to turn. Them tables have to turn.
Thought I'd just come on here and expose my narcissist ex-boyfriend and how he got karma by breaking both of his legs, ankles, and feet.
Larry is a doctor at a major hospital, and he's been married for over 20 years and is in his late 40s. But lately, his relationship with his wife has grown quite stale. This all changes when one day he is assigned to this fine young 20-year-old at the hospital.
I need you guys to know how serious spell work can be if it is done by the wrong people. Story time.
Where I got instant karma for being mean. So I had a boyfriend for like 4 years and he would cheat on me, like dog walk me real bad, and I was very aware and stupid. So we had broke up, like officially, and he started dating this new girl, and I seen them out at a bar that we all used to go to.
Karma is real. Trust me when I say it, karma is real. Story time, pay attention. So, I'm at Walmart about 3 hours ago. My son down in Texas calls me, tells me about how him and his homeboys found.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today we are talking about karma. What goes around comes around, right? But today you're about to witness real life karma stories that prove it's true. From instant payback to long-awaited justice, these stories will make you rethink your actions. So if you find any value, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. My name is Ria. I'll be back at the end of the video to share my opinion about the topic. Let's dive in.
Y'all know what really baffles me to this day is that people think that them tables don't turn. Them tables have to turn. Them tables have to turn. When you put out good deeds, they have to come back to you. It's not going to ever come on your timing. When you do people dirty, it has to come back to you. And it's not ever going to be on the person that you did dirty timing. So when people do you dirty, let them do you dirty. The karma is going to be so sweet. It's gonna be like apple pie on a Sunday morning, but you don't know what Sunday. Let them talk, let them hate. They digging their own grave, unfortunately. But nobody told you to be this nasty ass person. Go fix yourself. I had to do some deep digging in my spirituality. Cried for months straight, and now I'm like such a better person. I was being mean to people around me for no reason.
Since TikTok is leaving, I thought I'd just come on here and expose my narcissist ex-boyfriend and how he got karma by breaking both of his legs, ankles, and feet. Also, as a warning for those, look out for the signs, watch for those red flags. Do not succumb to the manipulation of a narcissist. He screamed and yelled at me because I was washing our pot in the sink and it was clanging against the porcelain, and he yelled and screamed at me because he said the pot is going to scrape against the porcelain and that I don't give a shit about our sink. He also snapped at me because I needed to defrost a pound of ground turkey and you could defrost it in the microwave, and he yelled at me because he said he's never seen anyone defrost turkey like that before. He screamed and yelled at me because our dog was on a retractable leash and our dog went around the corner of a wall and the leash ran against the wall, and he yelled at me saying that I don't care about our house, it's going to leave a black mark on the wall. He also screamed and yelled at me that same day because I opened the car door to let our dog in and our dog jumped on the seat, very small dog, and he yelled and screamed at me saying I should have picked him up because his claws are going to scratch the seat. And this was on the way to my parents' house on Christmas Day. He then began to scream and yell at me for the next hour and a half driving up to my parents' house on Christmas Day, telling me how I don't give a shit about our house, about our car, and then he started going in on me and things that were wrong with me. Saying that I was fat, that I didn't give a shit about him and our nice things, that I was not smelling quite right down below, and saying that I need to get that checked out because something's wrong with me. He screamed at me when I needed to stop to use the bathroom because I have IBS and he also has intestinal issues, and I needed to stop and use a bathroom that wasn't in the safest area, and he yelled at me and said that I was selfish for needing to stop and use the bathroom. He also screamed and yelled at me one time when we got to the top of the trailhead of a hike and I forgot our snacks, and he called me selfish for forgetting the snacks. He screamed and yelled at me the day that I moved in with him. This was the first time that I saw his actual narcissistic self and the abuse began, calling me his saying that basically he was my little bitch for helping me move all my stuff that day, and proceeded to scream at me all the way to our new house. He screamed and yelled at me because I freaked out because his dog drank his coffee, and I was freaking out saying we need to take him to the vet, and he screamed at me saying that I'm overreacting and I need to calm the fuck down. He attempted to commit suicide by driving to a bridge, and I knew that's where he was going, so I drove up there to stop him, but the police had already arrived on scene. Someone saw him on the bridge and called it in. When the police brought me down to him, the first thing he said to me was, "We're going to have to talk to our therapist about this when we go to therapy because I'm mad at you that you called the cops." And I said, I wasn't the one that called the police. Somebody else did. One time he was screaming and yelling at me, and we went to In-N-Out, and I got out to use the bathroom. And when I came out, my sister and my brother-in-law were there, and I had to act normal. I got in the car and we drove away, and he said, "Great, you were crying. Now they're going to think that I abuse you. Way to make me look bad." He proceeded to cheat on me by texting his best friend's wife very inappropriately. Then he proceeded to text another woman on Instagram inappropriately, and she reached out to me. Both of them reached out to me and showed me the evidence that he was talking to them. He told me time and time again that his mother was a grandiose narcissist, trying to convince me to not like her, but she was always extremely nice to me. But it turns out I found out from his ex-wife that their therapist called him the grandiose narcissist. So he was the narcissist, not his mother. I remember my car was parked in our garage and it was too close to the wall, and I had an appointment that I needed to go to, and his work was 15 minutes down the road. He could leave whenever he wanted, and I couldn't back out, so I called him saying, "Would you be able to come home real quick and just back the car out?" He proceeded to scream at me on the phone, saying that this is ridiculous, and hung up. He shows up 15 minutes later, gets out of the car, and he was like, "This is very selfish of you. You're being selfish." Backs the car out and then just leaves and goes back to work. There's even more to this, but a couple years after I left him, he was doing something that he loves, riding motorbikes, like motocross, and somehow got in an accident that broke both of his legs, feet, and ankles. If that ain't karma, I don't know what that is. So Cody, if you're seeing this, I want you to know that this is the person who you truly are, and I wish I could warn every woman on the planet to never be with you, because you will never change, and you got it from your father.
Okay, you guys, I'm sitting here wrapping presents, and I'm thinking about this story time where I got instant karma for being mean. So I had a boyfriend for like 4 years, and he would cheat on me, like dog walk me real bad, and I was very aware and stupid. So we had broke up, like officially, and he started dating this new girl, and I seen them out at a bar that we all used to go to. And I walked by them as they were like making out. He was like purposely being petty for whatever reason. And I had a drink in my hand and I acted like I tripped and I threw it on her. And I was like, oops, I was being mean. I was sad. Mind you, she had no idea about me, so it's not her fault. And this was now her man, so, she thought that I did it by accident. So she was like, "Oh no, it's okay." And I just gave a look, walked away. He knew what it was though. So later on that night, my homegirl's getting some altercation in the bathroom, and ironically, she's the one who's seen the group of girls I was with because I had walked past her with them, and goes, "Hey, your friends are outside fighting." And she was super sweet to me, so I instantly felt bad. So I run outside, I book it, and my friends are outside fighting, and it was like probably like 4 or 5 girls who were huge. I'm only 5'2", 120 soaking wet. Came up to me like, "Yeah, you want to run it? Like, you're going to get your ass beat." And I knew I was going to, but I was going to go down like that. That's fine, because my friends are fighting, so I'll get beat up too, fine. So I was like, "Yeah, what up?" Out of nowhere, as we're about to fight, I get pepper sprayed. Now I'm on the floor like this, crying. Embarrassing. And I truly feel like that was my karma for being a mean girl that night. So don't be mean.
Larry is a doctor at a major hospital, and he's been married for over 20 years and is in his late 40s. But lately, his relationship with his wife has grown quite stale. This all changes when one day he is assigned to this fine young 20-year-old at the hospital. Now, it was professional at first, and then she surprised him with a job that blows in one of the hospital rooms. And with the adrenaline rush, he was hooked instantly. He started seeing and doing her more and more often until one day she suggests that they move in together on his dime because she was broke and unemployed. He agrees. He packs up and leaves his wife, who literally begs him not to leave. He moves in with the young girl and he's having a blast. I mean, she's doing splits and backflips all on that thing. I mean, Larry is loving it whenever he could though, because since she is broke and has expensive habits, Larry has to work twice as much just to support them. This lasted for almost 2 months before Larry comes home from a 13-hour shift one day and finds his bags and everything else strewn over there by the door. He knocks and his girlfriend's new boyfriend answers the door and informs him that he has been evicted. Defeated and now homeless, he calls his wife and asks if he can come back home, to which she gracefully replies, "Of course, my dear." Whenever hell freezes over. Man, karma is real out here. Stop playing and do right by people. That's all it takes. But I hope y'all have a blessed and beautiful day.
I need you guys to know how serious spell work can be if it is done by the wrong people. Story time. So recently, me and my spouse were able to speak to one of his relatives and confirm something that I felt the longest about his relatives. And when this relative confirmed what I had been picking up on, it really confirmed this overall message. And this is why I feel like you guys need to know how crucial spell work is. And when it is done by people that don't have good intentions, it can be devastating. So my spouse was talking to one of his relatives, and he was basically asking his relative if he had ever experienced anything magical from the other relatives that we were having issues with. And when I tell you, this man confirmed every single thing that I read in my cards about these people that we have been trying to isolate ourselves from. He confirmed everything. And this is why it's important to be mindful of magic. This is a message for someone. If you had a family member in your life that passed away suddenly from whatever complication, that could have been spell work. If you had friends that died early in life, but they were going through a lot of spiritual warfare, that could definitely be from spell work. And what was confirmed was that the relatives that have been doing this to us done this to the same relative that confirmed it, but they did it to his friend, and his friend ended up committing suicide. And it confirmed what I said 2 years ago when I said that I had felt like this group of women were getting together with their daughters and family members trying to create a cult to go against others. And this is a confirmation for a lot of you. If you have been in a season of spiritual warfare and you know that your aunts, your cousins, or anyone in your family, because it's not always just women, it could be men too. If you know anyone in your family is using spell work or doing dark energy work, you need to distance yourself from them as much as possible, because what these people like to do is they like to get around people during Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they like to siphon people's energy and then use it against them if they have bad intentions towards that person. Or they siphon people's energy and use it towards chaos magic, throwing it everywhere at everybody, you know? And when this man confirmed to us what I had already felt, there's so many light bulbs that had went off in my head, and I felt like I needed to share this with you guys, because y'all might be thinking that your dad or your mom left a situation with their spouse because they were a bad person, but sometimes people leave situations because they're aware of what people are doing behind the scenes. That is why it's always important, especially if you are a woman that grew up without a father, be mindful of how your mother was. I grew up with a mother that was very fucking evil. She was evil as fuck. And I'm sorry, I love my mother, but she does spell work against people through witchcraft, through gossip. And this is something that I want you guys to be aware of, because Y'all be thinking when those group of family members get together and they're talking about other people that they're just like gossipy and stuff, but they're doing witchcraft on people when they're talking low vibrational energies over people's life, cursing people and just sending people negative energy. And this is why a lot of the times, like, women will get mad at their fathers for leaving, but their fathers left because their fathers knew that their mothers were witches and they were trying to get away from that manipulation and those love spells that that woman put on them to keep them to take care of you. And that's not always the situation, because there's a lot of deadbeat dads out here. But in some cases, people separate from people because they know in their spirit, even if they don't know consciously, subconsciously, these people are aware of what people are doing behind the scenes. And that relative knew, he said it by word, he said Santeria. He knew that those women, his own wife, his own ex-wife, had been doing spell work with her sisters that had caused her other sister's husband to die. He committed suicide. And I was thinking to myself, like, I literally, when my spouse was telling me that story, I knew in my heart, I was like, there's something not right about that story. You need to look into your mother and you need to look into her sister, because I just felt something was off. And when his father confirmed that his own mother was a part of casting black magic, and now she's a saved Christian, y'all. Now his mother believes in Christ and she doesn't do tarot no more, and she rebukes magic and she calls me evil. But y'all need to realize that the people in the church, there's women in the church doing spells on people, casting out curses on people. There's women that pretend to be Christian and pretend to be Catholic that are evil. These women are using the Bible to curse people. And then when you get these women that feel real guilty and they want to turn to Christianity or spirituality and want to put it on people, and they want to try to brainwash other people to be Christian with them and to believe in, basically telling people that they're sinners and they're going to hell. It's because they have a guilty conscience of what they did back in the day. And she was projecting that onto me, saying, oh, tarot is bad, you shouldn't be doing tarot. But when you were doing tarot, you were out here hurting people. I'm not hurting people. That's a projection, sis. Okay, so this is a message for some of you. If you feel like there is someone in your family that has always had an off vibe about them, distance yourself from them. Don't go around them. They got to go through their karma, and you're going to know, because it's always the people that are pessimistic. It's always the people that are bitter. It's always the people that want to bring other people down. Those are the people that are out here casting that evil energy into the collective.
Karma is real. Trust me when I say it, karma is real. Story time, pay attention. So, I'm at Walmart about 3 hours ago. My son down in Texas calls me, tells me about how him and his homeboys found this old man's wallet. It had some bank receipts in it, showed the man was paid, but they just got his address off of the stuff and took him the wallet. How the man was so grateful, all this. The man was so grateful, he's going to take him out to lunch. And I told him, none of that matters. God matters. You did the right thing. Karma's going to come back. They're going to bless y'all. Like I said, I'm in Walmart. When I get the call, I'm going over this all with my son. I just got a call from my mom about an hour ago telling me the police at her house looking for me. I'm like, what they looking at me for? What they looking for me for, Mama? What you talking about they looking for me? Did you lose your wallet at Walmart? So I started patting my pockets. I'm like, damn, I did. I don't have my wallet. Where's it at? It's at your house? Nah, the man's that got it wouldn't give it up. They won't give it up, but they contacted the police trying to get it, for, somebody to get to this address, to get in contact to give the number for you to find them. I call them. I pull up on them. Swear to God, all these men wanted from me was a hug. The older man he's older in his 70s. And the younger man, all they wanted was a hug from me. And the younger man just said, hey man, give me a shout out on TikTok, on his TikTok. He was going live on his TikTok. I hope he follows me so he can see this. And I gave him my name and stuff, but yeah, he just wanted me to shout him out on his TikTok and let the people know that he is a better person and he don't do the things I hold. But again, that quick God showed who he was. That quick. I'm talking about I'm on the phone with my son telling him, karma, you gonna get something good from me. His karma helped me. Man, God is good, man. God is good.
I'm back. So my opinion is, in all thy doing, let's strive to do good. Let's strive to be the better people in all situations. Let's not try to revenge people in case it's a matter of revenge, because revenge is unto God, and let God be their karma. When they do bad to you, just take your case to the Lord in prayer, and Lord will avenge you. The good Lord is a good Lord who always avenges your enemies and his enemies. So yeah, trust in the Lord to avenge. And for those people who are out there being bad to people, spiting people, plotting for people, doing bad to people, please stop it, because karma is like a boomerang. It's going to go, but it's going to bounce back, and when it comes, I am sure you are not ready for it. So why start what you'll not finish? Why plant a plant and you don't want the fruits? Only plant a plant whose fruits you'll be able to eat. So yeah, where this came from, there is more in the comment section. Where this came from, there is more in the playlist. You can watch more videos from there. Yeah, till next time, I love you. Bye.